Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in. I'm Peo Time here with another live stream. And today we are going to be talking about the LA Rams and some possible free agents that are still available for them to sign. And thank you to everyone watching live. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you as well. And I encourage everyone, if you could hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. That's just really me and my quest to become a Rams full-time YouTuber. Anyway, so today we're gonna break down. I'm gonna start by listing a couple of free agents that are still available, and just a couple of my thoughts towards that while people funnel in here. But it looks like we got some comments coming in. So he said, "Last Sand Prince, hey, welcome to the stream. So good to see you." And so I've just looked for a couple of key free agents here, and I've listed them on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So a couple. The number one I want to talk about is he's a former Kansas City Chief, Austin. I believe it's pronounced Reith Austin Reeder. That he's a center, and I know a lot of Rams fans were concerned about us not drafting a center in the draft, and so Austin Reeder might be a good option. He's a veteran, center. He's had some injury concerns, but that might be someone that the Rams look to. They have about just under $7 million in cap space, and so that. I don't know. I would be interested to at least see him come in for like a workout. We know that the Rams seem to have a lot of faith in their current O-line, and that's great. But I'd be interested to see if bringing in a little bit more depth at the position would be good. We got Rams House TV. Yo, what's up? How's it going, Ramley? And Diego Sosa. Hey, welcome to the stream. He said, if we sign Melvin, Ingram, this defense would be number one. We have Ingram opposite of Floyd and Donald in the middle. That's dangerous. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Last name Prince is saying, what about saving money for mid-season signings to fill gaps and weaknesses? Yeah, that's I think that's maybe what the Rams are doing. Let me be clear: every player we're going to talk about today, this is all speculation. We have not heard about these players visiting the Rams or the Rams reaching out to their camps. So it's fun to discuss. I do think that Melvin Ingram makes the most sense, him and Justin Houston as well. We've seen Aaron Donald do his little cryptic recruit of Melvin Ingram. And I guess the biggest question is, can we get him for a reasonable one-year deal? We can't get him for a multi-year deal. The reality is we just don't have the cap space for that. But realistically, putting him on a one-year deal like we did Ndamukong Suh a couple of years ago, or even Leonard Floyd last year. I think we could do something like that for sure. Deal for him to prove it, to earn a second big contract. Rams House TV is saying we definitely need to sign Ingram. I would go nuts. I would go nuts. Let's see if it happens. I don't know. What would Ingram cost? That's a great question. I'm going to look that up here. I had some numbers to go with me because I'm trying to get better at preparing for my live streams because I want to create better content for you guys that tune in. I really appreciate it. So he's 32 years old. Okay. So a couple the kind of pros and cons here. So he had some injuries last year and he only played in 7 games. He didn't have any sacks. In the previous 5 years, he had sacks a season. And so that's when he's healthy. At 32 years old, though, injuries are a bit of a concern. But he must be having a hard time finding a team, though. So I don't know. I think his number, it would be under $6 million. But I still think he's a big enough name that potentially we'd maybe struggle to sign him for what he's looking for. We want to see, yeah. So because he just came off of a 4-year, $64 million contract from the Chargers, and yeah, so maybe we can get him for $4 to $6 million, somewhere in there. But then the question then comes: is Melvin Ingram going to be able to contribute if we are going to pay him? And we already are, flirting with that cap line. So I don't know. We'll see. But it's a good question. I do think we can get him for under the cap, but it pushes us. And so then we can't really make, for mid-season signings, we kind of have to just go with like people off the waiver wire that aren't really proven. So I guess it depends on the risk that you want to take, right? Golden Tate. I almost fell over laughing. It's I think at this point in Golden Tate's career, he's got good hands. He's a veteran receiver, things like that. But like, I don't think he offers the at the receive. Like, I wouldn't take Golden Tate over Van Jefferson. Like, definitely not over Woods or Kupp. Now, Deshaun Jackson and Golden Tate are maybe pretty comparable. I think Tate has maybe been a little bit healthier than Jackson, but I'd still take Jackson for this Rams offense just because he brings something that I don't think that Tate is anymore. But yeah, I hope we don't sign Golden Tate. I don't think it's a packed receiver room as it is, and we haven't even talked about the tight ends, right? Diego's asking, will Cam Newton be on the hot seat? Yeah. You know what? We didn't talk about him on Sunday when we had the hot seat conversation, but yeah, I definitely think so. He's trying to prove something for his career, and his replacement is on the team. So if he wants to keep playing football for years to come, he's gonna have to ball out for sure. Rams House TV, Golden Tate, laughing my tushy off. I'm good with Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh, that's an awesome nickname. I haven't heard that for Tutu. I love it. Yeah, that's great. Rams House TV. Did you come up with that name? That's great. Last name Prince. We have depth, so it could be worth a gamble picking up Ingram. Yeah. Again, I saw this today. North Dallas 40 sent me a video about Colin Cowherd. Again, he's one of those media heads that's saying the Rams don't have depth, which they just don't realize it. We do have depth. We have several young players who are in their second and third year, and they have NFL experience. They're ready to take that leap. We have the media, for whatever reason, doesn't want to give us that respect. But no, we definitely have depth. Ingram, though, I guess if I had to pick between Justin Houston and Melvin Ingram, I would want Justin Houston personally. Let me know. Feel free to disagree with me. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Would you rather have Justin Houston or Melvin Ingram if you had to pick one or the other? Jay in the Bay, what's good? How's it going, man? Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Really appreciate it. And he's saying, yeah, y'all should sign Golden Tate and have him start. He could So we have a 49ers fan here poking a little bit of fun at us. You know what, Jay in the Bay, I think we'll let the Niners take Tate so that maybe they can trade away Brandon Ayuk. And, just have Tate take over for Ayuk. We would love that. LA Rams, what's up, everybody? Hey, man, thank you so much for coming on into the stream. He's offering a friendly reminder. Everyone, hit the like button. I really appreciate that, LA Rams. Thank you. And yeah, if you're watching, if everyone could hit that little thumbs up, that really helps me out. We're going to talk about our next free agent here. So we've talked, to recap for those just tuning in, the former Chiefs center, forgot his name here. Oh yeah, Austin Reeder. Austin Reeder. I think we could get him at a reasonable 1-year deal. I'd be interested in bringing him in. He has had some injury concerns, but that'd be pretty cool. Bring depth to that center position that Ram fans are kind of nervous about, if we're being honest. We talked about Golden Tate. We've talked about Melvin Ingram, and we've alluded a bit to Justin Houston. So Justin Houston, again, 32, same age as Melvin Ingram, and they play pretty much the same position. I would just say Houston's a little more consistent. He's had at least 8 sacks in the last 4 seasons, and I think maybe he's a little more expensive than Ingram, or maybe they're around the same price. I don't know, but I just think having him as a veteran present on a 1-year deal makes a lot of sense for the Rams. I feel like he's had a lot of teams interested in him, but he's maybe holding out for some money that's just not going to come. So, yeah, I think for him, it would be a really good team to go to. It'd be a great fit. So I'm hoping Justin Houston does sign to the Rams. That would be really, really exciting. Another player I want to talk about, and I've tried my best. I can't find much information on this guy. He played for the Jets last year. His name is Brian Poole, and he's a cornerback. And when you look at it, the Rams don't have that many cornerbacks on the roster. And so relying on Robert Richell and David Long, I agree they're players that are ready to step into starting capacities and play at a high level. But having another veteran corner like Poole, I don't think that's a bad idea. If we can get him for a reasonable price. He's had some injury concerns, but yeah, he's been productive. He's been kind of one of the players on the Jets the past couple of years that has actually played well. So I'd be okay with that. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on that. A couple of comments. Oh, lots of comments coming in. That's awesome. Last Stand Prince is, I would go with a center to make sure Stafford protected also. Yeah, so that's why I think Reader could be a really good option. Diego Sosa is, I won't be long here because I have to go eat. Yeah, enjoy your food. What are you having tonight, Diego? That's awesome. I love it. I just had some wings. I had some wings and some carrots, and I had a root beer for dinner. It was really tasty. Yeah. Jay's laughing. We always laugh. Dean, don't know how to say your last name. I'm going to give it a shot. Petrisser, but I'll call you Dean. Welcome, Dean, to the stream. I am doing well. I'm just talking some Rams, and I am live from Canada, close to Toronto. Rams House TV says, "Yeah, let him go to. Yeah, we don't want Golden Tate. He can go over to the Niners. That's okay. Whose house? Rams house. Yeah, that's right. Getting ready to eat pizza. Oh, enjoy your pizza, Rams. That's awesome. Sorry, but Ramsey and Tate on the same. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe let's just keep the locker room. Let's do that. Yeah, got you covered. Appreciate that. I'm having In-N-Out. Oh, Diego, I'm jealous. Yes. Okay, I've been to In-N-Out once in my life. Back I went to California for a conference once back in it was in Del Mar, California, if any of you are close to there. And I got to experience In-N-Out for the first time, and wow, it's amazing. I randomly checked to see if they'll ever come to Canada, but no dice. But I look forward to when I next go to California and I can go and eat at this amazing establishment of In-N-Out. In-N-Out is the best. Jay the Bay loves it. Yeah. Do you know the Toronto area pretty well? Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. I've lived here for a while. Yeah, I know my way around. Not the I don't know every street. Toronto is a big city, but I know the general neighborhoods pretty well. Yeah. Okay, well, caught up on the comments, so we're going to look at a couple of other free agents. So we've talked about Austin Reader, the center. I think would probably be someone I'd get really excited about. We've talked about the corner, Brian Poole, Golden Tate. We've talked about Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston. And another one that I want to talk about is linebacker KJ Wright. And I know we've talked about him before, and I'm not saying that this is something that we need to do. There's some question marks around KJ Wright at this point in his career, just staying healthy, things like that. But again, if he's someone that can contribute, because we have other question marks for health on our team, as does every team. Injuries, unfortunately, are part of the game. It's a very physical sport. But, I think that KJ Wright could be kind of an interesting signing. I'd rather, if you have to pick between them, I'd rather have Justin Houston, but he's there. Another inside linebacker is B.J. Goodson. And so, again, we have a linebacking group that's largely unproven outside of Leonard Floyd, but definitely, we've drafted Ernest Jones, who apparently is looking pretty good in camp. We have Micah Kaiser, who I think a lot of people are nervous about, but he's one of those guys that can take the next step. Troy Reeder is one of those guys that adds depth. One of my favorite dark horse starters for the Rams that no one's talking about, but I think he has the potential to be a future star, is Kenny Young and Trayvon Howard as well. But Goodston, he's a veteran again. I guess we're only talking about veterans here, really. But he's, he's kind of a similar build to a Kenny Young. And I don't know. I think he could be a good pickup for the Rams. I don't think he would cost a lot of money either. So that's something to consider. And let's see. Got checking out got some comments coming on here. Where's the best place to dump a body? I don't know the Toronto that well. I'm sorry, Dean. Sorry, can't help you out. You said, LA Rams, I would love to get In-N-Out Burger. I'm jealous. Can you please enjoy Joyce a couple fries and a milkshake for me? I still remember those are the best fast food you can ever have at In-N-Out. Yeah, so enjoy some for all of us. Old Man Ghost I was thinking, okay, yeah. You know what? We will look. That's what we'll talk about next, Old Man. Can the Rams O-line stay healthy and consistent this year? I think they can. Will they? That's the big question. The biggest obvious concern is Andrew Whitworth, our left tackle. And now here's my one thing. Whitworth, though there are injury concerns, I mean, he's a 40-year-old starting left tackle. When he's there, he's a phenomenal tackle. You see it in his footwork and his handwork. Not many people get by him. He's not getting beat by anyone really. The concern with Whitworth is that injury, being an older player. But I am also a big advocate of Joseph Noteboom, who came in and played pretty well last year. He had a couple of rough games, but for most part, he was pretty consistent. So I think injuries are going to happen, but tackle, I'm not too worried about. Guard and center are my concern. So on the inside of the line. Greg is saying trade for Stephon Gilmore. And yeah, this has been a pretty popular, conversation. We just don't need him. For the cap hit he's going to be, and we really don't have that much draft capital. So unless it's a really bargain bin trade, I'd rather have Darius Williams at this point in Gilmore's career. Not that Gilmore hasn't been fantastic in the past. I like Ramsey and Williams as our starters better. But then again, you can never have enough good corners. Gilmore would be an upgrade over Poole, as we talked about earlier. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about. I kind of hope it doesn't happen, just because we don't have much draft capital left to trade in the future. Jay in the Bay is saying, is the Rams O-line the weakest position group on offense? Well, that's a good question, Jay. So our running backs, we have Henderson and we have Akers, who are phenomenal. They're great. And then wide receiver, we have Kupp, Woods, Van Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell. That's a very deep wide receiving core. Our tight end group with Tyler Higbee and Jacob Harris is looking great. So, yeah, again, it probably would be our O-line, just largely unproven, and had a couple of games where they struggled last year. So, yeah, that's probably on offense our weakest position group. But, again, maybe weakest is too hard of a term. Unproven, I prefer to say. Greg is saying James Laurinaitis type of player in Ernest Jones. Ooh, I'm okay with that. I love James Laurinaitis. Oh, yeah, he was a fantastic linebacker, and if Ernest Jones is that kind of player, I'm A-okay with that. A-okay. Greg is saying you think tight end is our weakest position group. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'd love to know, Greg, if you could expand upon that a little bit more. I'd be really curious, because Jacob Harris has been lighting up at camp. Higbee has been a capable tight end. The Rams, we lost Gerald Everett to the Seahawks, but I wouldn't say that Everett was this phenomenal. He was a good tight end, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We got Diego Sosa saying, "Who do you dislike more, the Seahawks or the Niners?" You know what? I'm a football fan first. I'm a huge Rams fan. They will always be my favorite team. I'm a football fan first. However, I do love it when the Niners and the Seahawks lose. That is great. And I would say it depends on the day. Yeah. Last year, I think it's always annoying when the Niners beat us. So right now it's come on, we got to break this, this losing streak to the Niners. But then again, the Seahawks playing Russell Wilson is just the most annoying thing ever. Having him, motoring around. Again, it just depends on the day. I'm not a fan of Pete Carroll as a coach. I think Russell Wilson saves that team a lot. I think the Niners are a more complete team, so that kind of scares me. But yeah, I don't know. That's just it really would depend. If I had to pick right now, I'm probably leaning towards, and again, dislike just because they're a division rival and I want the Rams to win. But I'm a huge football fan, so I can appreciate good coaching and good playmakers, things like that. I guess I'm leaning towards the Niners. Sorry, Jay, probably just because you're here in the stream. But all love, and I definitely enjoy talking football, with Niners fans, Seahawks fans, and it's fun that we can be one big dysfunctional NFC West family. Old Man Ghost is saying it is Baker's with only 34 stores around the San Bernardino areas that I miss. I'm not sure what that is, Old Man Ghost, but that sounds really cool. And I'm sorry you miss Baker's. I'm not sure what that is. Last Day in Prince. What about kick returner? Or do you assume Tutu will be the guy? Ooh, actually, Last Day in Prince. That is a fantastic question. I think Tutu will be the guy. I think there's a potential that maybe Jake Funk also competes for that. Maybe Deshaun Jackson. I mean, he's been doing it a while. But they also, I did make a note here of DeAnthony Thomas. He was a kick returner, punt returner for the Ravens. He's a free agent. He would be cheap, really cheap. But again, I don't know if he's really what the Rams are looking for or would need. But I think for Ram fans that are watching, camp, who's going to be kick return is probably one of the more interesting camp battles this year. I think Tutu's kind of the favorite to do kick return, but we might see it. I could see Kupp even coming in on punt return or Deshaun. Who knows? It's tough to say, but I'm leaning towards Tutu. I don't know. What do you think, Last Day in Prince? Are you thinking Tutu? Last Name Prince is also saying tight end is the Rams' weakest position. Sounds like a compliment. Yeah. You know what? If tight end's your weakest position, like obviously it's great when you have a great tight end. Jay and the Bay can talk about having Kittle. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe having a weak tight end doesn't show as much as some other positions like the O-line. Gary says easy 49ers. We own the Seahawks. Yeah, we've been having the Seahawks number for the most part the past couple of years, and but the Niners have had our number for the past couple of years too. So that's the beauty of the NFC West. It's such a tough division, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens. Old Man Ghost is saying, what is the depth of each position? Ooh, yeah. So again, running back, like we maybe don't have a third, but like I'd still say it's deep with Henderson and Akers. Quarterback, I would say is deep with Stafford and Wolford. You know what? Definitely not. I'm not even going to list the receivers again. That's deep. Tight end group, we have Mundy. We as backup in there, like with Harris and Higbee. Yeah, like I don't think tight end's that much of a concern to me personally. But yeah, that O-line group, who's going to be center? Is it going to be Corbett? I don't know. And then guard, I guess a concern just because it's an unproven group, but it's a young group that does have NFL experience. And as we say on this channel multiple times, young players get better. They can develop. And the Rams have a really good history under McVay of developing young talent. And in that second and third season, we often see these players grow into starters. And sometimes they stay with the Rams. And sometimes we unfortunately have to let them go for cap reasons. And they get big contract monies on another team. That's the way it goes. Jay in the Bay is saying, DeAnthony is almost as fast as the best running back in the NFC West, Raheem Mostert. yeah, whatever, Jay in the Bay. We all know who the best back will be next season. It will be our boy Cam Akers. That's right, a complete running back, not just a speed demon in Mostert, even though I do enjoy watching Mostert as a football fan. Hopefully he's healthy this year, and he has a good season for the Niners, but I'm putting my fantasy prospects on Akers. Williams impressed me as someone who is dedicated to study and his craft. Yeah. You know what? Darius Williams, he's one of those players that Ram fans know about, but not a lot of other teams do. He's phenomenal, and yeah, I think he's learned a lot from Ramsey. And he's benefited from having him as kind of the same cornerback room. But yeah, Darius Williams he's a phenomenal corner. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next year, and I hope he gets a big contract because he's on a 1-year deal right now. I feel like Higbee is underrated. Okay, Diego, I hear that. And there's times I think Higbee's underrated too, but then there's other times Higbee just didn't show up. And I don't know if it's scheme or something like that, but like he has these phenomenal games where he'll score like 2 or 3 touchdowns, or like you see him in the power blocking scheme. Like he knows how to do it. But then there's other games where he just drops the most basic pass. And again, that could be on Goff because Goff often overthrew receivers and tight ends. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to say Higbee's underrated, but yeah, I hear you, and I have said that before. I'm not sure I'm thinking that right now, but I hear what you're saying. I am excited about Jacob Harris though, because he's been beating out Higbee to get first team reps, so that's exciting. Last Name Prince, I think 2-2, but I could see Kupp and even Van Jefferson receive some of the shorter punts. Yeah. You know what? That's a good way of putting it. Last Name Prince, of having kind of a primary guy, but in select situations, like if we have them backed up on their goal line, they're punting out of the end zone, and so it's going to be a short punt to midfield. Maybe Kupp or Jefferson's would come in to that, being a little bit big body receiver. Yeah, interesting theory. I've never thought about that. That's really cool. Last name, Prince. Mr. Gabe is saying the Rams should get a cheap, fast, deep wide receiver. Not saying Deshaun Jackson isn't one, but he is too injury prone. Yeah, Mr. Gabe, that's a really interesting point. I kind of hope that Tutu is that deep threat. I know he's an undersized receiver at 5'8", but he's a speedy guy. Like, he's fast, and so that's the hope that we can stretch the field with him. But I don't see, people also don't give Robert Woods enough credit as a deep threat. The guy's got deceptively good speed. Like, he is sneaky good. And the reality is Kupp and Woods can get open deep down the field. Just Goff last year would not push the ball down the field. It was so annoying. So like I get the importance of having that X receiver that can stretch the field and be the deep ball. But I feel like the Rams in general, they like to get receivers that can line up multiple places. Like, we have really intelligent wide receivers on our team. We don't have many one-trick ponies. Kind of like a previous regime in Jeff Fisher was known to draft. A lot of our receivers are pretty multi-skilled. So again, we maybe don't have like a Tyreek Hill kind of deep threat, but I think Deshaun Jackson definitely can still, get it done down the field. I think Tutu can develop into that. But Van Jefferson and Robert Woods, I think they're right up there with it. And even Kupp, we've seen him get open down the field. Even though Kupp and Woods do kind of have more of a reputation of possession receivers, I think that they're more talented than just, out of the slot. Who's available? Yeah, a lot of those deep threats are kind of all signed to other teams. And I'm pretty happy with our wide receiving core. Honestly, I'm pretty stoked about it. Last day in Prince is I wouldn't mind seeing Henderson receive kicks. He has great lateral and burst on the edges. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. You correct yourself here when you say he did say mind. I got to start getting better at reading those comments ahead of time here. I wouldn't mind seeing Henderson receive kicks. He has great lateral and burst off the edge. Yeah, he does. That would be interesting. I wonder if Darrell Henderson's ever received kicked in his career. I don't know, but great idea. Yeah. Other Rams is saying it will be cool if the Rams become the second team to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium. Yeah, I would love that. And my hope, my dream is that the Rams get the number 1 seed so that the entire road to the Super Bowl has to go through SoFi just to stay in SoFi. I would love that. I think next year's Super Bowl is going to be crazy because it's in LA, it's in SoFi, this amazing new stadium. Plus, you're going to have kind of like things opening up even more, with the pandemic and vaccination rates being higher. I think that's going to be a really fun Super Bowl. And LA is they're gonna do it upright. It's going to be a phenomenal Super Bowl. I'm really curious who's going to be the halftime show. Yeah. Last day in Prince. Has MVS signed somewhere? I don't think he's still with Green Bay. MVS. I'm not sure who you're referring to. MVS. I'm curious who you are. MVS Packers. Oh, Marquez Scantling. Yes. Let's find out. I don't know if he has signed anywhere yet. Scantling. I don't think he has yet. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Last name Prince. Yeah. I really like our wide receiving group, so I'm not sure bringing someone else in. I'd rather have Scantling than Tate, personally, right now, at this point in his career. Old Man Ghost is Google fast food pioneers of San Bernardino. I do not expect many to know about. Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Okay, you know what? That because we were talking about fast food earlier. Okay, thank you, Old Man Ghost. Yeah, I'll check it out later. Diego Sosa saying, will Williams be a top 15 corner in the next couple of seasons? I think he has the potential. Yeah, like let me think that through here. Okay, so definitely, you know what? That's not hard. Top 15. That's no. Yeah, he can do that. Especially playing opposite of Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, like he's going to get lots of targets. They're going to shut some teams down, and yeah, I think I don't know if Ram fans know like we're going to blow some teams out. You know, we're going to definitely have some tighter, tough wins because we do have a tougher schedule. But there's going to be some teams that we blow out next year. And that's going to be fun. And I think that will largely be because Ramsey and Williams are just shutting them down on the outside. Greg is offensive line is full strength at the moment. And will be great with Corbett at center. I appreciate that. You know, Greg, I am someone who was highly critical of not drafting Humphrey and a center in the draft. But you know what? Like the more I look into it, I do think we are good at O-line and we have players that are unproven but willing to take that and willing and ready to take that next step. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be fun, and I think we can stay healthy, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. LA Rams going. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, oh man, if the Rams win the Super Bowl, yeah, man, we can cry together, LA Rams. We can cry together, absolutely. Hey, look who's here, Rams house. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. We've been having I'm having a blast. I hope you guys are all having a good time talking about free agents. We'll do another recap here in just uno momentos. We got some comments to get through here. One sec. You guys are awesome today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Please, hit that like button. It really helps me out. And subscribe if you're not. Rams and NFL content. We're having a fun time here in the stream. At least I am. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Greg is saying Thailand is the weak tight end. There we go. Tight end is the weakest position because Jacob Harris has yet to prove himself against the first string defense. Tyler Higbee was injured most of last year with the arm brace, and Gerald Everett is gone. Okay, you know what, Greg? Thank you for explaining yourself earlier in the stream, Greg. He voiced some concerns that tight end was the Rams' weakest position group on the offensive side of the ball. That's an interesting perspective. I think there's a reason Jacob Harris is getting first team reps. He's a fast, big body. I think he's 6'5". And I'm really excited about Jacob Harris as our tight end. And Tyler Higbee, again, that's legitimate concern. He was injured a bit last year. So, okay, you know what? Again, maybe the word weakest isn't the best word. Maybe unproven is the way to go. So yeah, Greg, I really appreciate your perspective. And there's definitely validity to that for sure. Thank you for sharing. Only vibes. Rams should try and get Gilmore to pair with Ramsey. See, again, we thank you for the comment, Only vibes. I do politely disagree. I think that Ramsey and Williams is the best corner duo in the NFL. I prefer to stick with that. I don't want to give up any more draft capital for a player like Gilmore at this point in his career, unless it was a really good trade. I am open to my mind being changed on that, but the more I think about it right now, I'm content not getting Gilmore. But again, you can never have enough good corners. So if it's the right deal, maybe Gilmore is a good way to go. Greg is he meant tight end, not Thailand. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, that was funny. Thailand is the weakest position on the Rams. What, the Rams are in Thailand? I'm just gonna take a little swig of water here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We got 12 people in here. That's so tubular. My orange water bottle. Rams. So last day in Prince is Rams should sign Gesicki from the Dolphins when he's done in Miami. Interesting. Yeah, that one wouldn't be the worst signing ever. Yeah, interesting. Oh, I know we have some Dolphins fans here. I might have to ask them about that someday. Huh? Interesting. I think Gesicki, to be honest, he might earn a second contract with the Dolphins. I think they really like him there. But then you never know. Never know. North Dallas 40, welcome to the stream. I gave you a shout out earlier when you sent me the clip from Colin Cowherd. Thank you for that. And yeah, so he's saying Rams need to concentrate on O-line. Win ain't lasting 17 games. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That is a legitimate concern. Andrew Whitworth, when he's healthy in there, he's a fantastic player, but at 40 years old, to play a 17-game season is a concern. I like Noteboom. We're going to a couple of players that might – it's just tough because at this point in the free agency, there's not – like there's still talent on the, free agents market, but I don't know. I've only listed Austin Reeder at center. We got Turner at guard. He was a guard for the Chargers. There's just not a lot out there. Like, unless there's some practice squad guys that maybe we haven't heard of out there on some other teams, which that's something that we can definitely look into for sure. Old Man Ghost, better yet, I'm thinking which positions need more depth. Yeah, again, I think I agree with North Dallas 40 here. Like, we can never have enough depth at O-line, throw corner into that, but I just think it would cost too much to get Gilmore. Because I think the Patriots want to try and keep him. But again, who knows? Hey, Diego, no worries. Thanks for coming to the stream. Peace out, man. Enjoy eating at In-N-Out Burger for all of us. Jake, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad you signed Pepe Silva. You know what? Let's look him up. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be a joke here. I feel like you're pulling a joke on me here, Jake, because I know you're a jokester. Such a kidder. I cannot find much of anything to do on Pepe. Maybe you're just making me look foolish here. I don't know. That's funny. Sorry, Jake. I'm gonna have to move on because I can't find anything at my first search, and I don't want all these amazing people just look at me and go, click, click, click. North Dallas 40 saying Rams need a solid linebacker. Yeah. Really curious to see what happens with Ernest Jones. We talked about Justin Houston. We talked about Melvin Ingram. How those would be exciting to come on in. But yeah, I'm excited for we have some young linebackers. I'm a big fan of Kenny Young. I know some people don't even know he exists, but I'm a big fan of Kenny Young for the Rams linebacker. I think he's gonna be a star next season. Greg saying Darius Williams. I don't know why you're laughing at Darius. Resetting your computer will catch the rest. And thank you, Old Man Ghost. Have a great night. Thanks for coming on in. Only vibes. Rams need to sign KJ Wright to mentor the young guys. And yeah, you know what? We talked a little bit about KJ Wright earlier in the stream. Yeah, KJ Wright. The Rams, again, we only have like just under $7 million in cap space. I feel like with his name, he's maybe looking for a little bit more. Or maybe he's just looking for a place where he's for sure going to start. Like a lot of these guys that are still there, they're maybe waiting for injuries to happen at camp as they always do. And maybe that's kind of what their agents are advising them to do right now. Cause we don't hear a lot of, of the Rams reaching out to any of these free agent guys, even though we as fans, we see, hey, this could be a good pickup for us. But until we hear, someone talk about it, it's just not happening. T Short, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the comment. He's saying, would you rather pick Melvin, Ingram, or Justin Houston? Yeah, we asked this earlier. I would pick Justin Houston, the two, just because he seemed to be more consistent. They're both 32 years old. Ingram had some injury concerns last year, but I'd get excited about either of them, but I would prefer Houston. The Miami Dolphins is an okay team. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. And Jake is still signing Pepe Sylvia. Okay, thanks, Jake. Are you messaging me privately because you know me in the real world? No, but you did comment on my Moof series, which we had the Jets episode post today, which our Jets fan, John from he's a Jets YouTuber on NYJ today. He predicted the Jets to get to 9 wins next year, which that would be. And yeah, in our quest to find the most openly optimistic fan, that is one of the bolder predictions. Do you have any news on Brian Allen? No, I don't. I'm really curious to see if he wins the starting center role, or if it'll be Corbett. I hope it's Corbett personally, just from what we've seen last year. But for the Rams not to draft a center in this year's draft, they obviously like what they see from that group. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping he's one of those players that's a young player that gets better. That's the hope. I was hoping Allen could play another O-line position, considering he's small for a center. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's tough with Allen just because he is probably – him and Edwards are probably the biggest concerns on the O-line. What the Rams need is a difficult question to ask since the team is so young. Yeah, that's a really good point, Last St. Prince. Youngest team in the league, average age of 24 and a half years old. And I think that's why a lot of the media say that we don't have depth, even though we're young. But the reality is a lot of our players got drafted when they were 21, 22 years old. And so we've been the youngest team in the league, or at least in the top 3 youngest teams ever since McVay got here. That's just sort of been a thing every year that we get younger. We have our veteran proven talent, but we also have a lot of young guys who are ready to step up and make their mark on the NFL. And you can tell just by the way McVay and Snead draft and the way that they believe in their culture, they believe in their coaching staff, and that these guys are ready to take that next leap. LA Rams is laughing at the 9-win production for the Jets. Hey, you know what? It's the NFL. I maybe have a hard time seeing it. You're predicting 4-13. But if you want to hear a Jets fan, talk about the Jets from an optimistic perspective, go watch the episode. It's on my channel. It's Move episode 20. And it's been a fun series. I'm interviewing a Vikings fan tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get that episode out on Friday. And then I have a Cowboys fan over the weekend. I'm hoping a Packers fan over the weekend. And that Move series has been a lot of fun. Really, really enjoying it. You can take a little swig of water here. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Yeah, North Dallas. So I talked about this. Why does Colin Cowherd always call the Rams top heavy? So he apparently had a meeting with someone in LA. I think he had a meeting with a beat writer on the Rams. I don't know who. He didn't give the names, but the journalist friend or whatever said that the Rams are good, but they're top heavy. But if they stay healthy and get to the playoffs, they'll make some noise. Now, I don't think that beat writer or Colin Cowherd, actually can, speak to the development of unproven. They only go with the big names that get clicks, that get attention. They don't necessarily talk about the intricacies and the day-to-day in the camp, and they don't see guys like Kenny Young who are ready to be a star player. And so I'm excited to see the Rams prove them wrong and to prove the entire NFL we are a team with depth, and we're not just a top-heavy team. Last Name Prince makes up a really good really good point here. He said, we shouldn't laugh. The Jets beat us last year. Yeah. So when we're laughing at the Jets getting 9 wins, they beat us. And that was the video that launched my YouTube career. Yep. It was my first football video I ever posted. It was my reaction to the Jets. It got a couple thousand views. And it's just, I remember I went and shoveled snow for therapy. I was so mad. That was the game I was done with Jared Goff. And that was a tough game. Jake, who's in here, he remembers, I messaged him after that game. I was in a rough place. Thanks for supporting me through that. And Jake is also saying, I need to hear some Bills hate so I can get hyped about it. Okay, you know what? Everyone in this stream, say something bad about the Bills. The Bills looked really good, but Jake here, he's a Bills fan, and he's used to getting some hate. He's getting so much love. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's part of the Bills Mafia. Okay, let's see it. Allen, he's overrated. Last year was a one-done. He's not going to be that good anymore. He's going to regress. Your running backs suck. You have Dawson Knox as your tight end. He's horrible. Seriously, Dawson Knox actually is a terrible tight end in the NFL. White is not nearly as good as Jalen Ramsey. And there, Jake, is that enough hate for you for a Bills fan? Let me know. I hope that helped you out. Yeah, that was last year. I think you're talking about the Jets. I hear you, LA Rams, but we beat Tampa. Yeah, we did beat Tampa last year. We beat them good. That was a fun game, and I'm hoping that we can beat them again this year on week 3. No. 3 or 4, maybe 2. When do we play I gotta look this up. It's gonna bother me. Rams schedule 2021. Yeah, on the 3rd week of the season. Yes. Okay. So week 3, September 26th, we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in SoFi. So yeah, I'm hoping we beat them. We beat them good. How many games would the Rams have won last year if Stafford was the quarterback? Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, you can play what ifs. I think North Dallas, where the better question is, how many games we would have won if Wolford was our quarterback. No disrespect to Goff there. I don't know. It's just tough because most of our losses last year, you really can pin on Goff making some really poor decisions, overthrowing guys, and Bills was a one-hit wonder. Yeah, thanks. There you go, Jake. If you're still in here, Greg's giving you some hate. You're welcome. Yeah, actually, that Bills game last year was fun. I wish we would have won, but that was still a fun game. I enjoyed that, and definitely, I remember there being a controversial pass interference call with a controversial interception call that I still think to this day was a strip fumble, not an interception, but it was a strip fumble when John Johnson got that ball, but it was labeled an interception. Oh, thanks. Week 3. You're predicting 12-4 last year with Stafford? Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to take a little swig here. I appreciate all of you tuning in. I hope you guys are having a good time. We'll close up shop here real soon. Got a couple comments coming in, but I want to do one last thing before I close up shop tonight. And where did I see this? North Dallas 40. I think you sent this to me earlier. Where did I put it? This is what happens when I have everything on my work computer and then I'm here at home and I'm on my home computer. I don't know where that went. I was going to highlight this article here. No. No, you know what, guys? I don't want to waste your time. I don't know where it is. I'll maybe make a smaller video about that later. But last saying Prince is saying at least 3 extra wins, Jets, Dolphins, and at least 1 9. Okay, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, last saying Prince. If we would have had Stafford last year. Greg is saying with Stafford undefeated in the Super Bowl win. Yeah, that would have been. Yeah. Who knows? We were a good team with that defense. Yeah, and if we have a healthy run game, watch out. North Dallas 40. Why are you a Rams fan? I'm a Rams fan for a lot of reasons. I became a fan back in 1999 with the Greatest Show on Turf offense. I was a wee young lad, and Kurt Warner was going from the grocery store to the gridiron and lighting it up, winning MVP. Marshall Faulk, man, that was one of my favorite players to watch. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Ricky Pearl, DeMarco Farr, Orlando Pace. No one talks about him anymore, but one of the best left tackles in NFL history. Rarely ever got called for holding or false start or anything. He was fantastic. It was tough to get by. He was a wall. I stuck with them because they were my team, and I don't want to be a bandwagon jumper. So stuck with them through the tough years. Steven Jackson's my favorite Rams player most days. I love Steven Jackson. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. And I was excited when, we got, Fisher as a coach. After 1 year, I lost that excitement and realized that he was a coach that often got outcoached, and that he's not someone who knows how to find good coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball and adjust to today's NFL. But yeah, I love being a Rams fan. Greg saying with Stafford undefeated and Super Bowl. Yeah, we said that before. Yeah, we'd like that. I was a Rams fan since I was 2 years old. Interesting. I'm curious. LA Rams fan. Did you grow up in like California, like close to the Rams, or are you like a St. Louis Rams fan? I know for me, so I grew up in a football family. Like my dad's a Cowboys fan, my brother's a Niners fan, and then my sister's a Saints fan, and then I have a brother-in-law who's a big Dolphins fan, and in my family, that's kind of the main teams I represent there. But so when I started to become a Rams fan, they were in St. Louis still. And obviously, as I became more of a fan, I got educated on the history of the Rams and how they started in Cleveland and they made their way out to LA and were there for a number of years. And then they moved to St. Louis and were there for, I think, about 20 years and then moved back to LA. And so, yeah, it's pretty exciting. So he's saying, I was born and raised in Santa Monica, California, Los Angeles, California. Very cool. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, you definitely are a true blue, LA Rams fan, born and raised. That's awesome. Well, guys, I can tell my voice, I'm going to need to down some water. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate this community. Love talking Rams. I love talking football. Couple of things coming up. As I said, the MOOF series, we had episode 20 today with the Jets, and we have some other times just coming. Really excited to see. I'm hoping the Vikings is probably coming out on Friday, so stay tuned for that. And you can hear me talk to a Vikings fan about Kirk Cousins, because y'all know I have opinions about Kirk Cousins if you check out my video on him. Greg is saying Ram fan since birth. Whole family are Ram fans. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. My family, we're a family that, like, we would, after, church on Sunday, we would hours of football and just loved it. That was great. Even though we were fans of different teams. But that's cool. They're all Rams fans. Rob, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. He's saying Rams fan since 2000 as well. From Visalia, California. I was on a flag football team based on the Rams. That's cool. I was 7. The 2000s sure were tough. Yeah, they were tough for the Rams. But that's really cool. That's awesome, Rob. Thank you for sharing. Ronnie, welcome. Hey, Pale, glad I caught you. I've been trying to catch your live stream. I really appreciate that, Ronnie. Thank you. Thank you so much. North Dallas 40s. Who were the greatest NFL 2 running backs in history? I picked Jim Brown and OJ. Interesting. I'm a homer. I'm going to go with Marshall Faulk and Eric Dickerson. Yeah, I'm going to go with the there. But the Rams have a history of fantastic running backs, but Jim Brown and OJ are no slouches. Do you ever wonder if a Rams player / employee is watching and taking any advice? I've never wondered that. That's really interesting. That would be really cool. If you are a Rams insider or employee or player, welcome. I do have a hunch that John Wolford watched my channel because he gave me my shout out over Cameo that you can watch on my channel page. And I sometimes play his little cameo at the end. So, and in that cameo, he said some things that I didn't tell him to say. And so like he said all that jazz was just something I do. And so I was like, oh, he maybe checked. So maybe John Wolford maybe checked out my channel. Maybe. That's the hope. But yeah, it'd be cool if they checked it out. Saying my cousin is a Dolphins fan. yeah, I have a couple of Dolphins fans in my friend group and my family. But yeah. Well, guys, I think that's about it. Thank you so much. Horns up. Pale time. Peace and out. Go Rams!